Yes, today we are going to discuss about the next chapter, that is the third layer of the eyeball. So the eyeball is divided into three layers. One is the outermost layer, this is a fibrous layer. Second layer is called by the name of vascular layer. Third layer is called a retina or nervous coat. And among them, first layer and second layer already we have completed. Today we are going to discuss about the third layer of the eye. So that is the retina or nervous coat. Myself, Dr. MURALEEDHAR, BADIGER, Department of Shire Rachna, Gramin Ayurvedic Medical College, Terdal. Come to the point. So nervous coat. In the picture you can see the nervous coat is the yellow color representation. This is yellow color circular part. So this is called by the name of nervous coat. So this nervous coat is divided into three parts. The optical part. See, this is the optical part, means the sensitive to the light. That is called optical part. Insensitive to the light, that is called ciliary part, and the iridial part. The optical part is the complete. This one is the optical part, which is posterior to the choroid. So that is called optical part. And ciliary part is posterior to the ciliary body, that's called ciliary part, and posterior to the iris, this is called iridial part. Iridial part and the ciliary part both are insensitive to the light because they are non-nervous tissue, but optical part is the sensitive because it is the presence of the nervous tissue and photoreceptors are present in this area. Detail we are going to discuss one by one. First we are going to discuss the optical part. So the optical part is also known as the optic part or the retina. See, this retina is the, see, outermost layer is the white color. See, the white color is the layer. This is the, you can see here in this picture, this is a sclera, this is a choroid, and last layer, this is called yellow color, this is a retina. So we are going to discuss this retina in detail now. So the retina or the optic part. So this is the retina which is extending from optic disc to the ciliary body. See, you can see the yellow color structure. See, optic disc is the here. It means where the optic nerve is going to enter internally or on the retina, this optic nerve entrance is represented by the cup shape structure that is called optic disc. So this retina is extending from optic disc to the ciliary body. Posteriorly it is extending up to the optic disc, anteriorly it is extending up to the ciliary body. This is a ciliary body. So the junction of ciliary body and this retina is represented by the zigzag line or zigzag appearance. So that is called by the name of ora serrata. What is the ora serrata? So ora serrata is the junction of ciliary body, and the retina, or you can say optic part. So that junction is represented by the zigzag appearance, a circular zigzag appearance. So that is called ora serrata. Okay, next point, this optical part or the retina consists of two surfaces, inner surface and the outer surface. The outer surface of the retina is related to the choroid and inner surface of the retina is related to the vitreous humor. So it means inner surface of the retina is not directly related to the vitreous humor. So it is related to the hyaloid membrane. Through the hyaloid membrane it is related to the vitreous humor. It means between the vitreous humor and the retina there will be one more membrane, thin membrane, that is called hyaloid membrane. So this retina is the sensitive to the light. It means because of presence of the nervous tissue and the photoreceptors are present in this layer. Next point we are going to discuss. So optic disc. Optic disc means there is a disc shape appearance or disc shape structure on the retina where the optic nerve is going to enter inside the eyeball. The opposite to the entrance of the optic nerve, there is a disc shape structure or circular part. So that is called by the name of optic disc. The center of the optic disc is little bit depressed or it is a cup shape. So that is called by the name of physiological cup. So this physiological cup don't have rods and cones. Because of that reason, this area is called by the name of physiological blind spot. See carefully, optic disc opposite to the entrance of the optic nerve in the retina, there is a cup shaped depression that is called optic disc. So the disc center of the disc is further depressed or this is looking like a cup shape, that's called physiological cup. So the physiological cup or the optic disc, they don't have rods and cones. They don't have the rods and cones, means here there is this area. In this area light rays are converged, then image is not going to form. Image is not going to form. Because of that reason, this area is called by the name of physiological blind spot. So in this picture, this is optic nerve entrance. So this area, it is called by the name of physiological blind spot. This optic nerve and physiological cup and physiological blind spot, almost all these are the same. Next point, there will be optic disc you have identified here. The lateral to the optic disc, 3 to 4 mm lateral to the optic disc, there is another depression. This depression is yellow color. So this yellow color depression is called by the name of macula lutea. So the macula lutea, for example, it is a yellow color. Here it is represented by red color, but try to understand it is a yellow color depression. So imagine it is a red color circle will be there. That is called macula lutea. Observe the red color circle. Inside the red color circle there will be a central point, that is a white spot. So it means the white part is a depression. So here macula lutea is the depression. At the center of the macula lutea, it means a white color spot. There will be further depression. So that further depression is called by the name of fovea centralis. In the fovea centralis, there is a presence of the photoreceptor, that is a cone, which helps for the perception of the light rays. Means photoreceptors are present in this fovea centralis. Okay, what are the photoreceptors? The photoreceptors are the receptors. They are pursue the electromagnetic waves. It means they are receiving the light rays and convert into the nerve energy or action potential. These are the two types of the photoreceptors are found in the human eye. One is a rod that is active for the dim light, and another one is the cones, which is highly active for the bright light. These cones are more cones are found in the fovea centralis, and peripheral part the rods are present. You can see the cone rod is the rod like, see, this is the rod, this is the cone. These two are the photoreceptors. Next we are going to discuss about the retina cellular arrangement. The cellular arrangement of the retina consists the main 4 layers. Actually histologically the retina consists the 10 layers. But first we should understand the 4-layer concept. Then it's very easy to understand the 10-layer concept, because 4 layers are the basic. The arrangement of the 4 layers leads to the formation of the 10 layers. What are these 4 layers? See, mainly it consists of 4 layers. First one is the pigment epithelium, second one is the rods and cones, third one is the bipolar neuron, fourth one is the optic neuron. These are the 4 neurons are arranged. First pigment epithelium, second one is the rods and cones layer, third one is the bipolar neuron arrangement or the cellular arrangement, and last one is the optic nerve. See, in this picture I am going to show. See, this is a last layer. This is a pigment epithelial layer. So see, this is the pigment epithelium. So the cells are there here. I am not able to represent. See, this is the cellular layer. So the first one is the pigment epithelium. After that the rods and cones. See, the rods and cones, these are the cone, this is the rod, and after that bipolar neurons are arranged here, and after that there is arrangement of the optic nerves. Optic nerve, because optic neurons are there. See, these are the 4 layers. Then how these 4 layers are going to convert into the 10 layers? It's very easy, because how they are arranged, if you know, then it's very easy to understand. See, first the image information is falling on the pigment epithelium. The light rays are falling on the pigment epithelium not allowing the light rays to scatter. Then that light rays are identified by the rods and cones. Then rods and cones are activated, then they send the impulse to the bipolar neuron. So then bipolar neuron send the impulse to the optic neuron. So then optic neuron carries the image to the brain, and brain is going to understand how this image will be there. So this is the arrangement. So we are going to discuss how these are exactly the arranged. The first arrangement, synapses of the photoreceptors with the bipolar neuron. See, this is the bipolar neuron. Sorry, these are the bipolar neuron. They are making the synaptic connection with photoreceptors, or photoreceptors, rods and the cones making the synaptic connection with the bipolar neuron. Then second one is a synaptic connection between the bipolar neuron and the optic nerve. There is another area that has a connection with the bipolar neuron making the synaptic connection with the optic nerve. Then there is another arrangement. See, the rods and cones are arranged here. The rods is having also cell nucleus, and also cone is also having this nucleus. So this nucleus are arranged in one single row. So this is called a layer of rods and cones nuclei, or this is a nuclear line. Then in this area, the nucleus of the or cell body of the bipolar neurons are arranged in this row. Then this is another layer, and where the cell body of the optic nerve is situated, there is another layer. Then optic fiber is running, there is another layer. So totally here, if you understood the arrangement, the different layers are going to form. First is the pigment epithelium, second one is the rods and cones, third one is the bipolar neuron, fourth one is the that is what optic nerve cell body, and that is the optic neuron. See here, four layers are fixed. I am going to explain other layers. Another layer is going to form here. See, between the connection between the synaptic connection between the cones and the rods with the bipolar. See, there is another layer is going to form here. So this is called flexiform layer. And bipolar neuron make another synaptic connection with the optic nerves. This is another plexiform layer. Network like structure is called plexiform. This is the two plexiform layers are going to form, and two nuclear layers are going to form. See, the nucleus of the rod and cone are going to arrange in one row. This is a nuclear layer, and there is a bipolar neuron cell bodies are going to arrange in another row. So that is called by the name of nuclear layer, another nuclear layer. So like this, 4 layers are converted into 10 layers. So detail I am going to explain in this picture. 10 layers of the retina. See, first one is the pigment layer, pigment epithelium. After that, rods and cones. These rods and cones are making the synaptic connection with the bipolar neuron, and bipolar neurons are making the synaptic connections with the optic nerve. See, the optic nerve fibers are running here. See, first one is a pigment epithelium, first layer. Second layer is layers of rods and cones. But rods and cones layer, carefully observe, the nuclei of the rods and cones are arranged in one row. So this row of the nuclear membrane is called outer nuclear layer, or outer nuclear membrane, or outer nuclear layer. After the outer nuclear layer, see, rods and cones are making the synaptic connection with the bipolar neuron. So then this is a network like structure. So this is called outer plexiform layer. Next one is bipolar neuron cell bodies are arranged in another row. So this is called inner nuclear layer. And the bipolar neuron make the synaptic connection with the optic neuron. So see, there is another network like structure. So that is called inner plexiform layer. So after the inner plexiform layer, see, then there is a cell body of the optic nerves are arranged here. So this is called ganglionic cell layer. And last one is optic nerve fiber is running here. That's called nerve fiber layer. So now totally the 4 layers are converted into 10 layers. So I left 2 more layers. One is the internal limiting membrane, and internal limiting membrane, and here there will be external limiting membrane. It's very easy to remember. Outer pigment layer, second one is layers of the rods and cones, third one is the external limiting membrane. After that, outer nuclear membrane. Outer nuclear membrane means it is a layer of nucleus of rods and cones. And outer plexiform membrane. Outer plexiform membrane means it is a synaptic connection between the rods and cones and the bipolar neuron. Inner nuclear membrane. Inner nuclear membrane means it is a layer of the bipolar cell bodies. and inner plexiform membrane. Inner plexiform membrane means it is a synaptic connection between the bipolar neuron and the optic neuron. And ganglionic layer or ganglionic membrane. Ganglionic membrane means it is the cell body of the optic neuron. And nerve fiber membrane, it is a optic nerve. And internal limiting membrane means internally there is a one more thin layer, that's called internal limiting membrane. So these are the 10 layers of the retina. How the image is going to form? So simple thing, first the light rays are going to fall on the retina, photoreceptors are going to active, the photoreceptors are rods and cones, they receive the information, then they are transported to the bipolar neuron. The bipolar neuron act as a first order neuron. From the first order neuron, the information is going to the second order neuron, that is ganglionic cell, and the fiber, that is nothing but the optic nerve. Then from the optic nerve, the image is dumped into, or image is transfer to the lateral geniculate body, that is a third order neuron. And from the third order neuron, message is going to the visual cortex. So this is the series. Usually the sensory information reaching to the brain from first order neuron to second order neuron, second order neuron to third order neuron, third order neuron to the cerebral cortex. Here also photoreceptors are act as a receptors, nerve endings. So bipolar neuron act as a first order neuron, and optic nerve act as a second order neuron. From the lateral geniculate body to the visual cortex, that is the occipital lobe, there is a optic radiation. So that nerve is called by the name of third order neuron. So third order neuron reach to the visual cortex of the occipital lobe, then you will get the clear cut picture of the information. Then the remaining parts, so two parts of the nervous coat, that is the ciliary part. Ciliary part lies posterior to the ciliary body. It is insensitive to the light, non-nervous tissue. It is a non-nervous tissue means there is no image formation. Then it is a non-nervous tissue means it is made up of the another type of the tissue, that is epithelial tissue, two layers. Iridial part behind the iris, that's called iridial part. It is also insensitive to the light. And non-nervous tissue, which is made up of the two layers of epithelium. Last point, come to the point, there is the applied anatomy. So the applied anatomy is the retinal detachment and the diabetic retinopathy. Then first we are going to retinal detachment. In this picture you can see the detachment of the retina from the second layer. The detachment of retina from the second layer or choroid. So that is called retinal detachment. It is actually. But if you want to do the in-depth, retina consists the 10 layers. So first layer is pigment epithelium and remaining 9 layers. Pigment epithelium is attached to the choroid. Remaining 9 layers of the retina are separated. So this is actually called by the name of retinal detachment. In the retinal detachment, what is going to happen? The first layer, pigment epithelium, is attached to the choroid and remaining 9 layers are separating. So this separation of 9 layers from the pigment epithelium is called retinal detachment. In the retinal detachment, actually it is a not retinal detachment, it is a intra-retinal detachment, because it's separating a first layer, 9 layers are separated from the first layer. But generally it is called by the name of retinal detachment. Diabetic retinopathy, due to the person is suffering from the diabetes for a long time, chronic uncontrolled diabetic. So in that condition, some changes are going to happen in the eye or the retina, that's called diabetic retinopathy. See, is in the normal eye, this is a if you observe the retina of the normal eye, it's looking like this. But in the diabetic retinopathy, the eye inside the retina will get the cotton wool spots. Cotton means, I think you know cotton. So cotton wool spots are appeared. Then you can see that is a diabetic retinopathy. This examination of the retina is done by the instrument that is known as ophthalmoscope. So by using the ophthalmoscope, you can see the interior of the retina and you can diagnose the cotton wool appearance, or it is a healthy or it is a diabetic. So this is about the third layer with applied anatomy. So thank you and all.